We need alcohols.
Right.
Alcohols.
Right. Not just one alcohol.
Alcohols.
Right. Just different
Plurals.
blend. You need the
Blends.
ladies. You need the booze.
You need some water.
For watering plants?
No. No, I don't know if guys have noticed this. Like a lot of ladies drink water at parties. They just, you know, so if you don't have what they need, they're gonna leave.
Right.
Gotta keep them there.
Right.
You need locks on the doors.
Okay, this is sounding kind of dangerous now.
It's a little kinky, but rock with me. But just check it out. You need a lot of heat. A lot of heat. Yeah.
Heat. You mean that physically the place has to be hot?
You don't have no air conditioning.
No air conditioning. No. Why is that?
Heat affects the alcohol, and it also affects, like, you know, everybody gets a little bit more comfortable and loose. Builds up a nice little sweat.
That just sounds disgusting. What are you talking?
Depends on the way you look at it.
Depends. Oh, people start getting it gets kind of sexy. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, you sex.
You know, that sounds sexy, but you know what's not sexy?
What?
The case that Diddy's getting into. Tonight, on a special Diddy-focused episode of Peep This W.O.M, sponsored by the Illuminati, we have a perfect breakdown of RICO, racketeering, and everything you need to know about Diddy. My name is Wise Guy, and I have my guest right here.
Maciah.
Thank you for joining me, Maciah. Illuminati. So, Mr. Maciah.
Yes,
did
sir.
that sound sexy to you? This interview from 2002?
It didn't age well.
It didn't age well at all.
I tell you, bro. Put locks on the doors?
What?
Why would you say that?
This is just increasing the long-standing notion of rappers snitching on themselves. Like 22 years ago, this is what we're doing now.
But let's just say, for all intents and purposes, I believe he was joking. That was a joke.
You think he was joking?
I'm hoping it's a joke, and I believe sponsored
by
Diddy.
What? No. There are no sponsors by anybody from Bad Boy, Arista, or Warner Brothers, or Universal on this episode. It is nothing but Illuminati.
Okay.
Listen, if we're gonna go for gold, we gotta go for the whole gold.
All right.
Go for the top.
So before you start, bro.
Go right ahead.
Tell me what went through your mind when you heard about this Diddy case.
When I heard about this Diddy, that was quite a pause. That was quite a pause.
Yeah, no Diddy, but this Diddy case.
To be completely honest, I didn't think anything different of it. I was like, this is, honestly, I didn't think it would actually get this far. I never thought it would actually get this far because he's been, allegedly, everything is still alleged.
Alleged.
Everything is alleged.
Can I give a disclaimer? We're going to be saying allegedly a lot.
A lot. Everything is alleged.
Alleged.
But he's been through so many different incidences, like the one in '99 when the club got shot up.
With
Shyne, that's one. I think it was in 2015 when he allegedly assaulted his son's football coach with a kettlebell.
Yep.
And then only recently did we actually have the video footage of him in the hotel assaulting Cassie.
That's when I knew it was going to be serious.
You know?
Even though I knew he was going to get charged for that, but that when they...
Really? You thought he was going to get charged? I didn't think he would.
No, that's what I'm saying. I didn't think he was going to get charged, but that's when I knew it was serious. Because he probably paid to get that video disappeared, and somehow, some way...
The internet age.
Huh.
I was just... You and I we've been around since the 90s, so we've seen and heard about legends and wild things happening, and nobody's ever gotten prosecuted or charged with it. So we're not, I didn't think it was going to happen. I didn't think it was going to get this far.
But before this, I didn't see it coming. All the humanitarian
efforts, vote or die philanthropy that he was doing. I was like, dang, why did he? But I'm sure you're not the only one that said that.
No, I say why Diddy. They were like, no, Diddy, no. No, stop.
Oh, man.
All right, so expound on now, what is Diddy being charged with?
So Diddy is being charged with sex trafficking, which is a federal crime. He's also being charged with racketeering. He's also being, well, basically it's the whole RICO charge. So RICO stands for Racketeering, Influenced, and Corrupt Organizations Act.
Ooh, okay.
So I believe that was made in 1985. To summarize, it's basically a set of laws, or I don't want to say laws, but it's a standard of situations put in case to break down on to clamp down on organized crime.
Wasn't this intended for the mafia at the time?
For the mafia.
You're right.
But when you really look at it, organized, you don't have to technically be a mafia to be a part of organized crime.
Okay.
So let's take the sex trafficking, for example. I know you and I were looking this up. So The definition of sex trafficking is carrying somebody across state lines or transportation, basically. Transporting a person from one place to another with the intent of commercializing prostitution.
Right. And it's not, when I looked at it, I was so concerned at first because of the severity of sex trafficking.
It sounds dangerous.
It sounds very dangerous. And this is still dangerous for some of the allegations that he's being charged with. But I didn't know it goes as fine as you just transporting a girl over state lines. For the intent of paying for a sexual act. And it could be consensual, and you could still be charged with sex trafficking.
So for all of you people out there that's saying,
yes, brothers,
Diddy's just a freaky AN, it is not that simple, because the minute that you pay for sex and transport it across any sort of location, sex trafficking.
It's wild.
I didn't like that how some celebrities were saying like, oh, Diddy's just freaky. He's just, oh, we really gonna get upset at him because he likes to have sex a lot? I'm like, it's not that simple.
It's not.
It's not that simple.
But you know what's interesting? And let's get into what...
I'm looking at you because I don't know if you're gonna jump out with it.
Let's get into the next video.
And to the young brother, Christian Combs, Diddy's son, this is why you don't taunt the feds. Remember when he put out that little jingle, that little record where he said the feds should have searched the other house?
Knock them walls down like when them Fetty boys ran in both our cribs. Too bad they ain't know we bought the one next door, cause that's the one they missed.
This is what they found in the houses that they did search. These are the AKs.
In March of this year, special agents from HSI executed search warrants at Combs' residences, and during those searches, agents seized evidence of the crimes charged in this indictment. They seized firearms and ammunition, including 3 defaced AR-15s.
Clearly they didn't have to search the other house, okay? That young man shouldn't be allowed near a recording booth anymore after this. Life is not a joke. I don't know why y'all be playing.
The music mogul now awaiting trial on federal sex trafficking and racketeering conspiracy charges that carry a sentence of up to life, possibly life in prison if he's convicted.
Life in prison.
So, before we continue, let's define racketeering for you guys. So racketeering is defined as a pattern, remember, a pattern of illegal activities carried out by multiple people to make profit. Illegal activities carried out by people to make profit. And he's being charged with RICO charges. So I said it before, RICO is racketeering, influence, and corrupt organizations.
Right.
So what is RICO? What does that all mean? Sounds like a bunch of jargon, you know?
Right.
It is unlawful for anyone employed or associated with an enterprise, Bad Boy Records, Arista, any Ciroc or any sort of businesses, an enterprise engaged in or the activities of which affect interstate or foreign commerce to conduct or participate directly or indirectly in the conduct of such enterprises' affairs through a pattern of racketeering activity, which we just defined, or collections of unlawful debt.
Again, let's just make it clear. Arista had nothing to do with this. Ciroc had nothing to do with this. We're not even going to say all the executives on Bad Boy Record had anything to do with this. But we will focus on Diddy.
Diddy, because he's who's being charged. He's who's being charged currently.
Currently.
So now we can go back to his son, who is making a rap record about RICO charges. Am I understanding that correctly?
It was so dumb. Like, he's rapping about a house. You just gave them more ammunition. Like, you know what? Let's get another search warrant and take this house.
Because that's the one they missed.
That's the one that they missed, right?
That's the one they missed.
Like, what's up with this dry snitching? Why is people doing this?
I think they do it because they feel invincible. When you've been getting away with, allegedly, any sort of criminal activity for such a long time, you feel like you can't be touched. Or when you're in bed with people in very high and powerful places, you know you won't be touched. No Diddy.
No Diddy.
No Diddy. In this case, it was very no Diddy. Yeah. There was no Diddy to catch.
Right.
So I think that's one of the issues there. What about you? Why do you think he's doing this?
The son? Now, I feel like it was for clout. I do believe he believes his father is innocent. And maybe he just wanted to rap and show some, like, how tough we really are. And how we're above the law. But that wasn't the time. Beat the case first.
He said beat the case.
Nah, for real, beat the case before.
And then you can rap about it all you want.
There you go rap about it. Like how,
OJ.
remember R. Kelly, Not
The
Guilty?
first time? Oh yeah, the first time.
When he did the, what is it, that album with Jay-Z.
Best of both worlds.
Best of both worlds.
Best of both. He got found out guilty before that?
After.
After Best of Both Worlds?
Yeah, I think they were supposed to do the second one, and that's when things.
Oh, I do remember talks about
yeah,
that. I do remember talks about that. Doom doom for R. Kelly. Oh man, I don't understand what it is, and we've talked about this before in a previous episode. We've talked about rappers where they feel that they can. They feel like they can talk about criminal activity and put it in music, but then they don't want to be tried for it.
All right, but where do you draw the line from freedom of expression to actually being charged for something that you said that you possibly didn't do?
Why would I artistically express something that I've done criminally?
Exactly.
I'm still snitching.
Exactly, but if you didn't do it, it's just me saying poetic words. Just like you acting in a film doesn't mean you're going to be that serial killer like Jason.
If I make a song about killing my family, if I make a song about beating someone up that you know personally, that truly does exist, you can't just, even with artistic expression, we do have limitations. That's the reason why you can't say things like bomb in a movie theater, like, oh no, I was just singing this song about, fires burning down. You can't do that. And why would you play with your own life? Why would you jeopardize your own life with just artistic expression?
Because if you believe you didn't do it.
Or maybe you don't think that you would get caught doing it.
That's true too.
So, with these things being caught up with, we know that there's firearms involved.
3 AK-47s.
3 AK-47s. With, if I remember correctly, the news report said that the serial numbers were scratched off.
So dirty guns.
Dirty guns. Just with that alone.
Dirty guns, dirty money.
Dirty money. Yeah.
Illuminati.
Just with that alone, you're not being guilty of necessarily any sort of racketeering involved in that situation. But that is a smoking gun to then pursue further digging, especially if I'm an FBI agent, because I would think that you're a billionaire or millionaire, whatever you want to call it.
Right.
You've got enough money for illegal guns.
Right.
Why would you have illegal guns there? And also, why would your son be on record saying that, oh, hey, you guys missed that house over there?
Listen, rappers trying to be rappers.
I guess we'd rather be rappers than be rich and famous and successful and not have these headaches.